Hi, my name is Noah, and I'm going to be talking about Toy Story 3. So basically, they're toys who come alive when their owner Andy is not around. And Andy just loves, they love hanging out with Andy. They love just being played with by him, and that's their whole purpose, is to be played with by Andy, right? Andy grows up, and Andy has to go to college, so his mom's all Andy, you gotta throw out these toys, dude. We gotta figure out what's going on here, okay? The toys are all really freaked out. They're college, nothing happens with toys in college. What are we gonna do? Andy's mom tells him to put the toys that he doesn't want in the attic. Or to donate them to daycare, to do all kinds of things. He's gonna take Woody to college. It's kind of like his little souvenir, something to remember home by. And all the other toys are gonna go in the attic. So that's just what's gonna happen. That was kind of the idea. So they ended up getting donated to a daycare, and all seems really super chill at first. That seems awesome, right? Basically, what happens is they meet Lotso, who's kind of the leader of the daycare, and everybody's really happy. Lotso's great, and he's really nice and paternal, and he smells like strawberries. But then all of a sudden, all the kids come in, and it turns out that these kids are really rough. These kids are terrible. Woody decides to go back to be with Andy, right? He tries to escape. That's the whole thing. So he ends up in a new home, and basically he meets a bunch of other toys with a new kid who wants to play with him. He meets some new toys. He meets Buttercup, and he meets Dolly, and he meets Mr. Pricklepants, and sort of this room. Woody wants to get back to Andy. Andy's his kid, and he's great, and he's about to go. And then he finds out, he's oh my gosh, well, Lotso runs the daycare with an iron fist. Lotso's a terrible guy, and it's this huge twist. Buzz Lightyear tries to stand up to Lotso, right? And it turns out that they're just using the toys. They're just using them. It's bad. It's a really bad situation. So he gets found out, and all the toys get put into jail, and Buzz Lightyear gets reprogrammed. They put him on demo mode. And so he's all serious. He's a cop. He's don't go there. You can't go. Don't do that. Don't move around. Don't do that stuff. But then they have to come up with this really awesome plan to escape. And it's really cool. And they organize themselves. Also, at one point, Mr. Potato Head becomes a tortilla, and he gets into a fight with a pigeon. That's a whole thing. That's not important. They get found out by Lotso. Lotso's you guys, you can't leave. You can't ever leave. We always need toys. You guys are prisoners forever. And then Woody comes back, and it's very heroic, and he's coming in the nick of time. And then there's the garbage truck. We're always scared of the garbage truck. The garbage truck's coming. What are we gonna do? And then, so they're all there, and they're there with Lotso, and he's trapped with them, and he's they're all just sort of working together. We gotta get out, we gotta get back to the daycare, we gotta get back to Andy before he leaves for college. So they're all gonna get melted, they're all holding hands, everyone's sobbing. Everyone's sobbing. Not everyone's sobbing. I was sobbing in the theater, I was crying. It was a whole thing. So, but then it turns out that the aliens, the little green men, the claw comes down, the claw picks all the toys up, and they're able to get back to Andy's house. And Andy's way too old to play with toys. So what happens with that is that he ends up giving all his toys to Bonnie, the little girl whose house Woody ended up at before. All the toys get donated to live with Bonnie, and that's great, and everyone's hanging out, and it's a good time, and that's how that movie ends. And it's a beautiful, beautiful story. Toy Story 3 in theaters now. 2010. It didn't come out this year, but go see it. It's really good.